Hey there, data wizards and code ninjas. Welcome back to Knowledge Academy's YouTube channel, your go-to spot for mastering the digital realm. Today, we're diving into the secret sauce that makes your SQL queries sizzle string functions. Ever wondered how to combine names, trim pesky spaces, or find specific text within your data? Stick around because we're about to unleash the power of SQL string functions and transform your database game. SQL string functions are essential tools for manipulating and managing textual data within your databases. These functions help you extract, modify, and format text, making your data more meaningful and easier to work with. Today, we'll use a house price table to demonstrate some of the most used string functions in SQL, including CONCAT, Substring, locate, length, upper and lower, and LTRIM, RTRIM. Link to this dataset is given in the description below. In this house price table, we have columns like price area, bedrooms, bathrooms, stories, main road, guest room, basement, hot water heating, air conditioning, parking, and furnishing status. We will be playing around these columns to understand SQL string functions. Let's jump right in. First up is the CONCAT function. This function allows you to join two or more strings together. It's perfect for creating combined textual data. Let's say you have a house price table with columns like area, bedrooms, and bathrooms to create a detailed description of each house. You can use CONCAT like this. First select the required columns, then create a new column using CONCAT function. Here we are using columns area, bedroom, bathroom from house price table. We will make it as house in, then area column values, then bedroom value and bathroom values, and name it as description. Then write from house price table and run it. The query fetches the area, bedrooms, and bathrooms columns from the house price table and generates a new column named description, which contains a descriptive string for each house, summarizing its location and the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. Next, we have the substring function. This function extracts a specific part of a string based on the starting position and length. It's useful for parsing strings or retrieving specific data segments. The syntax for the substring function in SQL is typically substring, then in bracket column, name, then the starting position and length. Here the start position is the position in the string where the extraction starts. The first character position is 1, and length is the number of characters to extract from the start position. Let's use the house price table with a column furnishing status. Suppose you want to extract the first 3 characters to categorize the furnishing status. So for that we will write the code as select then the required column and a new column status code, which will have the first 3 characters from the furnishing status column using the substring function, and assign this new column an alias status code. Then put the name of the table and run it to get the desired result. This query effectively retrieves the furnishing status for each house and creates a shortened code by extracting the first 3 characters of the furnishing status. Next, let's talk about the locate function, which is used to find the position of a substring within a string. It's an essential tool for identifying the presence and position of specific text within your data. Suppose we want to retrieve the furnishing status of houses from the house price table and find the position of the substring furnished within the furnishing status column for each house. Here's how we can do it. First, we'll specify the columns we want to select from the house price table. We'll create a new column named position using the locate function to find the position of the substring furnished within the furnishing status column. This new column will be given the alias position. To write this query, we'll use locate and specify the following in the brackets: the substring to search for, that is furnished, and the column in which to search for the substring, that is furnishing status. Then, we'll specify the table name using from and execute the query to see the desired results. In this example, the locate function searches for the substring furnished within each entry of the furnishing status column in the house price table. It returns to the position of the first occurrence of furnished. If furnished is not found, the function returns 0. This is particularly useful for determining whether the furnishing status includes the word furnished and where it appears in the string. Next up is the length function. This function returns the number of characters in each string, which is handy for validating data lengths or preparing data for specific formats. Suppose we want to retrieve the guest room information of houses from the house price table and determine the length of the guest room string for each house. First, we'll specify the columns we want to select from the house price table. Then, we'll use the length function to find the length of the guest room string and give this new column the alias guest room length. To do this, we'll write the query as follows. Select the necessary columns. We specify the columns to retrieve, including guest room. Use the length function to apply the length function to the guest room column to calculate the number of characters in each entry. Alias the new column, and the result of the length function is given in the alias guest room length. Finally, we specify the table name using from and run the query to see the desired output. This query effectively retrieves the guest room information for each house and calculates the length of the guest room string. The length function counts all characters, including spaces, and helps in understanding the data's structure or ensuring that entries meet specific length criteria. Now, let's talk about the upper and lower functions. The upper function converts all characters in a string to uppercase, while the lower function converts them to lowercase. These functions are great for standardizing text data. For this, the syntax is easy. Just the column name with select statement, then use upper or lower function and in bracket the column name. Suppose we want to retrieve the main road information of houses from the house price table and convert the values in the main road column to uppercase for standardization. First, we specify the columns we want to select from the house price table, then we'll use upper function on main road column and name it as standardized main road. We use the upper function to convert the values of the main road column to uppercase and give this new column the alias standardized main road. This query effectively retrieves the main road information for each house and standardizes the values by converting them to uppercase. Finally, we have the LTRIM and RTRIM functions. LTRIM removes leading spaces from a string, while RTRIM removes trailing spaces. These functions are useful for cleaning up your data. Suppose we want to retrieve the basement information of houses from the house price table and remove any leading and trailing spaces from the basement column values. First, we specify the columns we want to select from the house price table, then use LTRIM and RTRIM with column name basement as cleaned basement. We use the RTRIM function to remove trailing spaces and the LTRIM function to remove leading spaces from the basement column. The result is given the alias cleaned basement. And there you have it. We've covered some of the essential SQL string functions: CONCAT, Substring, locate, length upper lower, and LTRIM and RTRIM. These functions will enhance your ability to manipulate and analyze textual data in your databases. Mastering these functions will make you more efficient and effective in your SQL queries. In the next video of this SQL series, we will be learning about signed versus unsigned integer in SQL. Stay tuned to learn new things in SQL. This query effectively retrieves the basement information for each house and cleans up the values by removing any leading and trailing spaces. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting and informative content. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update.